What's going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at a product that I've looked at stuff from this company before, but I'm really excited to show you what I just got. So one of my videos that has actually done really well for my channel at least, is the Anleon S1. I did a review of their wired in-ear option. I'll have a link at the end of the video if you wanted to watch that, or I'll put it down in the description as well. But that video actually caught the attention of Anleon, and they reached out to me and they're like, hey, do you want to take a look at some other stuff? And they ended up sending me the Anleon S1. This is the wireless option, actually like their best wireless option that they have to date. The box is a little beat up because I've been using it at different gigs and I just always put it back in the box instead of finding a case for it. But we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to give my thoughts as well as some thoughts of people that I've used it with. I've actually let a friend borrow it and he used it for like an entire weekend of special events at his church. Before we really get into it, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate any views, likes, comments that I got on this video. Leave a comment, tell me what you think of the Anleon S3 as we go through this video, as well as looking back at the Anleon S1. Have you taken a look at it? Have you gotten one for yourself to try out? Let me know your thoughts and be sure to subscribe. It helps out my channel a lot and provides me with opportunities to connect with companies to do stuff like this. So in the box, I have everything unpacked already. You have the receiver itself in this white box here. You have the power cable for the device. There is the actual physical transmitter itself. And then down at the bottom of it all, you have a manual as well as the antenna. I wish the antenna was black, but beggars can't be choosers. And I mean, it's going to be hidden. It's not that big a deal that it's silver. It's not something that should be super visible anyway. So this goes on the back fairly easily. I'm not sure what the frequency band is for the S3. But I'm sure if you found out, you'd be able to find a distributor or transmitter, whatever the combiner is, and just pair it up with a generic combiner to put it into a system with bigger paddles and antenna amplification. One thing that really impresses me with this on the back is that it actually allows you to set it up as stereo. So you have a left and right in, and you even have loop outs. So you can loop audio out of this and like almost use this as a jumper, I believe. But the inputs are XLR as well as 1/4 inch. Again, that's really useful. I almost always would prefer to use XLR connections just because it can be a little bit more reliable with the balanced connection. But in a pinch, a 1/4 inch will work. On the front side, you have just a volume knob and then up and down, as well as a set button and the power button. You even have a phones out option so that if you have this sitting by the soundboard, you can listen to what they hear in their in-ears without having to connect a pack to it. That's something that doesn't always get put on in-ear monitors, but I like that option because I've worked as a monitor engineer on a side stage and this person's complaining, oh, I can't hear anything. I'm like, I know I've got it turned up. And I was able to plug in to their transmitter and check it out and make sure that I'm actually sending what I think I'm sending to them. Something else in the packaging that I just have misplaced was a set of earbuds as well. They're not bad, they're kind of generic, but I would suggest getting your own in-ears for yourself or like better headphones or something. Moving on to the actual pack itself, I am impressed with how sturdy this feels. It's got some heft to it. Just like the S1, it's got what feels like a metal frame. I feel like I could drop this and I would have no issues picking it back up and it turning on. One thing that's kind of annoying is how they have the batteries coming in. I'm used to so many companies, they make that flip front. With them, you have a pocket on the side that you have to squeeze together. But what's really cool is, I don't know if you saw how easy it was. You literally just press it and it's got a spring inside that is pushing it out. So it kind of pushes itself out and you just throw 2 AA's in there. So even though that placement is a little weird, and if you got fat fingers, it's not gonna be easy to open, but I'm sure if you just had a little pair of pliers or a pen or something, you could easily get it open. You turn it on by using the volume knob here on the very top, and you just simply adjust your volume up and down accordingly. You have 4 buttons on it. You have a up and down. These are just plus and minus. You have set and escape for when you're actually going through settings within this transmitter and adjusting it as such. When you press set, you have an option to go into these menus. You have a frequency, mode, and high boost. High boost is just off and on. I think it just gives it kind of a boost. It just takes a high shelf and boosts the upper signal. That can kind of help out with clarity, help with vocals and things like that to pop through a little bit more, especially if you're working with some sort of track. On mode, it's just simply focus and stereo. That just has to do with how is it supposed to be receiving. Is it supposed to be looking for 2 channels, or is it supposed to be looking for 1? Most of the time I'm using it in mono, so I believe focus mode is the mode that I leave it on. I actually haven't looked into that one very much. So to set your frequencies, what you got to do is make sure that both devices are on. So what we're gonna do is try to find a good frequency. I wish that I could do an auto scan and find something. We'll just pick a random one like B2 just to make it change completely. And then to get to the B2 channel, you have to press set and scroll up until you reach B2. Then press set, and then the power button escapes out, and you should see the green lights both come on here. Now you don't see any audio signal coming through, but I'm just gonna play something. And so there we go, that's turned up. Ooh, that is blasting. There we go. And now you see the audio coming through here. So I could plug in my headphones and check the volume there. I believe that volume knob only affects the headphones plugged in directly to it. And then you have your volume controls here on the physical unit that you have on your person. So now that those two are synced up, the signal carries from the transmitter to the receiver. Now, there are some other options. You have mono versus stereo mode. I don't think you have to change anything on this unit, because you only go between stereo and focus mode, which focus might just be the mono mode. And here is the, well, where we go, there we go. Here is the high boost mode that just kind of tries to help give some good clarity to it. And that is all the options on the menu on the receiver. On the transmitter, you have the frequency, the mono stereo mode, and a sensitivity mode. I like to put it at -8 so that it is not overpowering or blasting the ears, and it's not peaking right at the source. It just helps them out a little bit without giving them any distortion in there. And those are the only options on the transmitter side of the S3. Overall, using this device and plugging into it and listening on it is a straightforward concept. Anleon, again, made a simple product that's really quality, especially when you think about the price option. How much is this thing? For $300, this is exactly what I'd expect. Something quality, something that is going to transmit my audio well, clearly to me, something that's easy to work with. But now that you know how to use it, I do have my own comments and inputs, as well as comments from my friend who borrowed it for the weekend. Most of the artists I've worked with, they have had no complaints with this. The only time there was ever an issue was something that I did, not what the S3 was doing. The only complaint I have is that I wish while I was looking at the frequencies, I could see the RF and AF responses to it, because whenever you're choosing a frequency manually, you have to find something that is clear of RF interference. You want to make sure there's no audio coming through, and it's hard. It's kind of annoying to go in, change the frequency, exit back out, check it. All right, go back in, change the frequency, exit out, check it, and do that over and over again. There's also no automatic scan, so I wish that there was a scan option for this. But even still, for $300 for this piece of equipment, I am impressed. When I plug into it, there's no line noise, there's no hisses, there's no clicks unless I'm on a bad frequency. So it works great on that. You have bands from A to H. You basically have A 1 through 10 through H 1 through 10. You have a multitude of frequencies to pull from. So you should theoretically be able to find a frequency every time you use it. Again, it's just a matter of finding it. That is kind of annoying. But I have the comments from my friend here on my phone. He said, I used the Anleon wireless pack at my service. I really enjoyed them. Good audio, easy to use, no weird hiss or hum in the background. My only gripe was the setup, no scan features. So setting it up was a little tedious, but once he got it, it worked great. Again, that is the exact same thing that I had to say. It works great. It's just a little tedious on the setup side. But once you get it, you get it. So for new users, try it out, set it up maybe once at home so you're a little familiar at least before you really dive into it. But yeah, overall, the Anleon S3, quality in-ear pack. I am, again, impressed with what this thing brings to the table. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and comment down below. Tell me what you think of the Anleon S3. Is this a product that you're gonna go get and take on your gigs? Or is even the Anleon S1 just better for you because the simplicity and you don't need wireless? Wired works perfectly fine for you. Let me know. And be sure to subscribe. It helps out my channel a lot. I really appreciate any views and support. It'll give me more opportunities to do reviews of equipment like this S3. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until next Tuesday.